Hey guys, thought I'd jump on here and give some tips about setting up an Ableton template. Now this will be quick, but that's the point, because when you're starting a new song, you don't want to waste a lot of time. Reinventing the wheel is completely unnecessary. Now I've recorded hundreds of songs, and sometimes you do want a fresh slate. There are moments for that where you need to think outside the box. Don't get me wrong, templates can sometimes lock you in. So this isn't a rule for all the time, but this can save you a lot of time. Now, there are different ways of doing this. You can set up groups. So you can see here I put a bunch of synthesizers in one group, and then you can put your preferred keys in another group, bass, and so on. There's lots of ways that you can do this. You can also set up racks if you prefer that method. But here's the big tip that will save you a lot of time. If you're using a template, use the stock devices within Ableton. Don't use a lot of third-party plugins unless they use very little CPU. Okay, so on your main, don't put ozone. Here's the reason why. It will take so much time for that to load up. Unless you have a powerhouse of a computer, you're going to be wasting, a minute or something every time you're opening up that file. And every time you restart, every time you step away and, reopen that project, a lot of wasted time. So just use the stock devices when you are setting up templates. You can always add in the other things later as you go. But watch out for mastering plugins, big culprits, or really heavy synths, or any other third-party plugins. Try to avoid that if you're setting up a template. Again, just a quick tip as you're setting these up. The way to do this then is you go to File, and you can save it as your default so that when you open up Ableton each time, this is what would pop up, right? And you know what you want, and it can give you some, easy ways to start. Now, one last thing I'll add. I know I said it'd be quick. So if you keep some of these plugins in, okay, this is a third-party Trackspacer. If you keep a third-party plugin in there, even if it's turned off, some of these can use up CPU. So, I had to learn that the hard way. But Melodyne and, these other plugins, even if you have them off, it can take up time when you're starting up Ableton. So again, quick tip, use the stock plugins.